The Self Love Show is in the building. Like, share, subscribe. Hype this video. Karen, if you can bring that beat back, There we go.
The Self Love Show, giving you more than vitamins and minerals. Food for your soul.
It ain't 3D
Information and
printed.
plans integral to making your mind grow. With
more
more
growth
growth
and
and development, BS is irrelevant to the intelligent. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is what we represent. It's the Self Love Show. The
Self Love Show.
The Self Love Show.
We do it for our people.
The Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show.
To expose
it
no
no
equals.
The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show.
Story wordsmith 9
It's the
meals.
Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show.
Yes, sir. The universe is the Self Love Show. The views expressed in today's pod are those of the host and the guest and are not necessarily reflective of TATN or any affiliates. Furthermore, this podcast is satirical commentary.
It's the Self Love Show.
All statements are jokes, opinions, or exaggerations for entertainment, not factual claims or allegations about any person, place, or event. You know how the story goes. It's a self-love show. Welcome to the Self-Love Show on This Ain't That Network, as we affectionately call it, TATN. This is the pod where we dive really deeply into the intersections of mind, body, spirit, and culture. This is one of the co-hosts, 9 Mills. All praise to the ancestors, the Most High, and my late and very beloved Mama Sky. Miss you every moment. The conversation tonight starts with a question that's been echoing through copper communities for quite some time now. Why does corporate America keep circling back to us as both trendsetters and guinea pigs? From marketing campaigns that mine our culture for profit to product experiments quietly pushed into our communities first. The pattern is familiar and worth unpacking. When a major retailer stumbles into controversy, it's never just about a costume or an ad. It's about the deeper machinery that decides which communities get targeted and why. But the story doesn't stop at culture. It stretches into the future of food itself. As researchers, Illinois researchers push 3D printed meals into the mainstream, including specifically the experimental plastic-like biopolymer foods coming out of the Ill States labs. We have to ask who these innovations are really targeted for. Are they solving real problems or creating new ones? And when, quote, food, end quote, becomes something extruded out of nozzle, shaped by software and engineered for shelf life instead of soul, what does that mean for communities already fighting for access to fresh, real nourishment and living in food deserts? Then we zoom out, all the way out, into the Amazon rainforest, where mysteries older than any corporation still breathe beneath the canopy. Lost civilizations, serpent canoe origins, and water spirits like the Yakuruna remind us that mankind's knowledge didn't begin in a lab. Or did it? It began in the jungle, in myth and ancestral memory. And maybe the tension of our time, a world racing towards synthetic futures, while ancient truths whisper from the trees, asking whether we've forgotten what food, culture, and humanity are supposed to be. Asking, some of us, by the way we act, We even lost our minds. Now, they say you are what you eat. Eat to live. We got a lot to unpack. So, whip out your self love vision and your 10 hats. This is the Self Love Show, and this is the revolution. But the revolution will not be on YouTube. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live, coming at you in living color on Wednesday, August 26, 2026, at approximately 8 p.m. in Chicago. And as always, you cats can be anywhere in this magnanimous, beautiful, perfect universe that can be gone like that and you wouldn't even know it. But thankfully, we all chose to be here together. That's right. Here together. Bear down, what down, brother Wordsmith. What you manifesting today?
Love, man. You know me. I'm manifesting love. What you manifest?
Ditto, good brother. Pure, magnificent, unfiltered, unfettered. Many have said tough, others have said harsh, but I can assure everyone who can hear my voice right now, it's self love just the same.
No doubt.
What's been going on in your neck of Chicago, bro, since we last popped out?
I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's gonna have to be the weather. Been crazy, bro. Like unbelievable. Also, the response. Gary has been out of power yesterday, 2 weeks.
So they're off grid.
I mean, yeah. I know some groups have been going out there and taking power stations and bringing them water and all that. One of the YouTube dudes, the food critic guy,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm talking about, with the dreads. He's a MMA fighter, but he's really known more for food critic. I can't think his name.
No, I don't really know, but go on.
Yeah, he went to Gary and spent some money and got them power and water and stuff. Couldn't make up for the whole thing or anything by any means. You know what I'm saying? But he went and helped. Um, Razor, who I work with, she went out there. They took some power stations and had people, took them food and water and allowed people to charge up their stuff.
I'll
Shit's
tell you
really
what, this
crazy.
this
Studio
brings
been down for 2 weeks. Thank God Bob's got somewhere, he can be at, you know.
yeah. Uh, this brings new meanings to power to the people. Joey White, what up? What up, Joey? He said Keith Lee. That's the YouTuber's name.
Yes. Yep. Keith
Keith
Lee.
Lee.
Sure is.
All right. All
Shout
right.
outs
Look.
to Keith Lee.
Yeah, big ups, big ups, shout outs. Bring that power to the people. Power to the people. The Panthers were ahead of their time. You
Way
know what I
ahead of
mean?
their time.
Way ahead of their time. Bringing breakfast, power to the people.
Man, all of that.
They started the breakfast programs that your public schools are doing right now.
And the people that patrol the police and and check on the police and make sure they doing what they supposed to. They did that too. Brought that
Internal affairs.
um the civilian.
Oh, watchdogs. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. All right, y'all. What to expect on today's The Self Love Show? We always kick it off with the Self Love Show quote of the day. We got a great one lined up. And then we have a short 45-second video. It's the More Growth and Development video. That's the platform in which we stand upon. That platform is unity. It's yin and yang. That's the More, MOOR, Growth and Development platform. All right. And then myself and this brother, we're going to react to one video. We got a lot to unpack today. And then we're going to get to the topics. Targeting copper culture. All right. 3D printing plastic based food for your enjoyment and the mysteries of the Amazon rainforest. Do me a favor, smash that like button while you're thinking about it. Hype this video and share it with 9 like minds. Appreciate that. And encourage those 9 to share it with another 9. And let's see what the magic of culture can do. But first, any announcements out there? I'll say goodwill to Faye Fafe. Those who know. Uh, Goodwill, brother. Added you to my prayers. Got you. And R.I.P. to Va Boom, Dolly Parton out there. And working 9 to 5. You hear that, Coach? I bet that's Coach's favorite song. And the way to make a living, got to get your mind.
I think Coach's song might be "I'm Every Woman." Also, Dolly Parton.
Oh shit! Dolly Parton didn't make that. Was she? Did she make that?
I think she wrote that.
Stop it! I'm every woman. It's all in me. No way.
You might be right. I think it's another
It's another version of that. Okay.
Whitney Houston song that she wrote.
Okay. All right. Yeah. oh, oh, I mean, I'd have to bow down. I bow down anyway, though, man. She was a great addition to, um, you know, the zeitgeist. She did a lot of charitable things and seemed like a really good person. All pinks aren't whites, and all whites aren't pinks, right, brother? Wordsmith.
Yes, facts. And Ashford and Simpson wrote that song that I was trying to credit her for. I'm gonna see what it is.
Yeah, she might have wrote the country version. All right.
No, she didn't write that one. Dude. It's another song Whitney Houston did.
All right. Did you free the guys? Did you have any announcements there, fella?
Like, share, subscribe to your best friend, and let them know that we need like minds to move forward. Don't pull no punk, weak ass people that would trick and tell.
Send this to your favorite rapper. All right. Today's topic, we just went over that. So, if you're out there and you're shopping at Target, you might be at Target right now. Maybe Target's your spot. We're not going to judge you. Maybe you work on that particular plantation. Got to feed your family. You know what I mean? Have you ever been out to the Amazon rainforest? Is it on your bucket list? Do you know anything about it? Where are you checking in from? You know what I mean? Do you got hemorrhoids in your bum? Let us know. Put it in the chat, because this is interactive, and we'll see if we can't get you some preparation H or anything like that. Maybe, moreover, get you some natural ways to heal that and change your diet and your stress levels. Okay. All right. Big ups to. Go ahead. You had something to say?
Yeah, I will always love you is the Whitney Houston song written by Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I think she did it originally, or did no?
That's her song. She wrote it.
Yeah. Right. Whitney Houston did a lot of covers, bro.
Oh no, yes. I'm Every Woman was a cover from Ashford and Simpson. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. I knew it was one that was very famous. That's all.
And R.I.P.
I picked the wrong one. Both
Whitney Houston. Which one did you say though? It was your correction. What song?
I will always love you.
Yeah. Why can't I get that ditty in my
Because I put the other song in your mind. It's hard to erase that one. That motherfucker.
Yeah, that was a house cut.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Oh, 'cause I will always love you, and I will. That's from what was that movie? Bodyguard. Yeah, when she had that zaddy, and they were glorifying that zaddy. Uh,
Oh, they always glorify that zaddy.
they glorified Zaddy and made Zaddy the hero, and our women all over the world fell for it and lapped that shit up like milk. Big ups to our women. For if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. All right. Big ups, Tay Mills Aesthetics. If you running around the Los Angeles areas and you find yourself in need of the very best esthetician known to man, you reach out to Tay Mills, multicultural skin, body, and weight loss pro. You understand? Licensed, bonded, fully insured. You find yourself in sunny Southern California or the greater LA area, reach out to Tay Mills at www.taymilzaesthetics.com. That link has just been popped into the chat. Appreciate you, Karen. Bella B Designs. Bella B Designs. Maybe you want to get a cool t shirt made, or maybe you want some sweatpants made, with your YouTube handle and you want it across your bum. You reach out to Bella B Designs365 at gmail.com. Designs365 gmail.com, and she can make it happen for you. JIM Recovery. The J, the I, the M, the J, the I, the M, the J, the I, recovery. Recovery. Maybe you were sliding out west. You found yourself down there on Laramie. Maybe you was going to get you some Uncle Remus because, you know, you keep hearing about it. You're on the south side. You're a little tired of Harold's. Don't know what happened to Leon's. So you're out there sliding down Laramie trying to find your Uncle Remus. And you hit a pothole out there. And those guys is out there. You might not think the guys be out west, but the guys be out west. Rocks, blows, weed. Rocks, blows, weed. And they like to sell blows out there. You know what I mean? And you're out there and your whip won't move. You know what I mean? You blew out two tires. You only got one spare, right? You might need a tow. You reach out to JIM Recovery. They've got over 4 decades family business. Okay, you ain't too far gone to see that. They've got over 4 decades in the business in the city of Chicago, licensed, bonded, fully insured. If they can't get you out, no one can. If he's got to bring a winch and winch you out of there, he'll do it and put you up in the whip with him in the brand new top of the line truck. You know what I'm saying? And new technology, and he'll have Fox playing in his radio box. Fox News, that is. All right, but he'll get you there. Jim Recovery. All right.
No
All right.
doubt, no doubt. We also have Ancestral Echoes, Echoes, Echoes. A fantastic, amazing event. Please go and register at ancestralechoes.net.
We're gonna drop that in the. We're gonna drop that into the chat. Thank you, Karen. So that's www.ancestralechoes.net. And enough of my yapping. I'll turn it over to this brother to handle his business.
Yes, yes, Your
On
Honor.
Laramie Street, on Laramie Street. I've been thinking about making a cartoon. It's like Sesame Street, but it's Laramie Street. So
Okay, but I'm not on Laramie Street. Not on
I know
Laramie
you closer to
Street.
Stony Island. The West Siders look at Stony Island like the way we look at Laramie.
On Euclid Parkway. On Euclid Parkway. Good luck finding that. Yes, yes, y'all. Don't stop. The Self Love Show rocks on. Y'all know how we do. We pursue our dreams and our goals like a fiend and make sure that they come true. And that's the only way they can if you have them on mind, if you didn't know. As always, I have a very important quote, the Self Love Show quote of the day. But before that, wait, not before that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. And after that, we have the more Silverback More Growth and Development platform, which we're building the Self Love Nation off of. What I see in the Amazon are traces of a lost science, scientific mindset. I like this dude too. What I see in the Amazon are traces of a lost science, scientific mindset. Graham Hancock often talks about a lost civilization in the Americas.
Yeah, they're a bunch of savages, according to Western science.
You already know.
Bunch of savages.
Uh-oh. No, I didn't.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. I think Costa Rica. I think it's does in part of the Amazon. I know Brazil
It's
borders.
9 nations.
Yeah,
9 nations
that border the
that's
Amazon.
that Amazon is included in.
Huh.
9. I said, whoa, that was
Well, the white
tripping.
man's trying to chop it all down.
Well, of course. And they've chopped a lot of it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, shine a light on positive influences. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
And 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means possible.
That part right there. In case you missed last week's The Self Love Show episode, we unpacked the tall whites, the tall white aliens. What's in their hearts?
Not helping.
Yeah, we've been through this. You just don't trust them because of their hue. You know, their lack of melanin. You don't trust them.
No. I don't trust
Which
them
I don't blame you for.
Well, that ain't why I don't trust.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't blame you if that was it, if that was the case.
Right. But that's not the reason. It's because they don't help.
Yeah.
They're here to observe.
Well, you watched Star Trek. You was a Trekkie. They didn't help either. It went against their main. We don't help. That's our main objective.
Yeah, that's
well, they could help, but they couldn't be. They couldn't be
crap.
known to help. So
That
maybe
was
it's the
crap.
same thing.
No, it's crap.
Yeah, they help it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the tall whites might have made Star Trek. You know?
Yeah. The tall whites.
So have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
tall whites.
They're not white. They're gray or pink or whatever.
Yeah, tall albinos. All right. But check it out.
No.
No.
They're not. No, not the albinos because they're not us.
All right. Target topic. Target targeting black culture, 3D printing food, mysteries of the Amazon rainforest. That's what we on today. I know you remember because we covered it. I'm pretty sure we didn't do a whole show on it, but the late Sonia Massey, R.I.P. Sonia Massey. But you remember she rebuked that officer.
Yeah,
and then he popped her.
Killed.
Well, yeah, we got an update on that. Yeah, R.I.P. to her. Condolences to her family. But we got an update on that. Karen, if you can run it. Karen, you gonna run it?
Obviously, rest in piss.
Yeah. Got an update here.
A former sheriff's deputy serving time for murdering a woman in her Illinois home has died in prison. Sean Grayson's attorney confirmed today that the 32-year-old former deputy has passed away. Grayson was serving a 20-year sentence for the 2024 killing of Sonia Massey. Massey called 911 to report a possible intruder outside of her home. Now, her family says that she had been dealing with mental health issues and her mother was trying to get help for her just one day before the shooting.
Which is why me and Tori have said do not call 12.
Oh no. Hell no. Calling police, you're asking for disaster. Time and time and time again. They like, I can't do nothing with him. He's acting a little crazy.
Oh yeah, you're thinking you're helping when you're saying, and he ain't dangerous, he's just mentally unstable.
Yeah, that means they gonna shoot him.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because if you felt that way, you should be calling some sort of social worker.
No, that dude, yeah, not the police. That dude in particular, he got filled with the devil when she rebuked him. The demon.
She saw it in him, didn't she? But they called it crazy. She saw it in him.
Yeah, and that demon came right out.
I was looking it up. Sean Grayson, the former Illinois sheriff's deputy convicted in the killing of Sonia Massey. His attorney said he died from stage 4 colon cancer out there. Is it in the bum?
Colon, yeah.
So he had stage 4 colon cancer while in prison on August 23rd, 2026. He had reportedly sought medical release because of his cancer, but the request was denied. Wow.
Nope.
Well, you know me, I don't wish death or jail on anyone, but this guy, he sure challenges me. Yeah, he challenges.
If anyone deserved it,
he challenges that belief. That's for sure.
Man,
doesn't he?
Man, it's like, well, it's kind of hard to say because he was really possessed. I saw the possession.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I saw the possession.
And the stuff you saw it in his energy, huh?
Yeah, it was a shift when she rebuked him.
Yeah. What? He was like, man. And then
he went right for his gun and killed her.
And it must have been a fast acting cancer. So you don't think he had it before then?
Well, they said that he did.
During the shooting, you think he had it? He just wasn't undiagnosed?
No, they said that he knew or whatever.
During the shooting. Wow. Yeah. Well,
could explain why he would do something so
he can die in jail and not get the treatment he needed?
I mean, he would, is there a treatment that,
I mean,
the county treat some of them prisoners, I don't know if it's experimental or whatever, but they treat them, got some of the best doctors in the world in the county.
Yeah, but that's the county hospital, but the county jail, he's not. First of all, he wasn't in the county, and second of all, you're more likely to die from stuff in jail than you are out on the street.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that you're more likely to die if you're fucking with doctors.
Yeah. Do you think her rebuke had something to do with him with the cancer advancing like that? Because it's treatable pretty much until it gets to stage 4. So that's why everybody tells you it's important to go get the fingers up your bum so that they can identify it early and then start treating you. My ship had it, and but it was early. They caught it real early. So
yeah. Don't know much about it. Not a lot about it at all.
Well, he's free now. She's free. R.I.P. Sonia Massey and R.I.P. Sean Grayson.
Yeah, rest in peace.
All right. Yeah. Wow. All right, let's move on. We got one more for y'all. This one is called Targeting Copper Culture. You know, there's been a big Target, what do you call itself? Boycott. You know, Jay-Z still working with him. Jigga. He gonna get his money, ain't he? Can't knock his hustle.
He don't care about nobody but Jigga. Jigga.
He's my
His
nigga.
nigga. His nigga, that's it. He Jigga. His nigga. That's
Yeah,
it.
Jigga.
That's all he care about.
Jigga.
Not them, his family, not allegedly. This is cynical, right?
Yeah.
Well, Target is pulling children's Halloween costumes after critics say it resembled blackface.
The company is now apologizing and
What?
investigating how they say the costume made it onto store shelves. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
Let's see this. This should be funny.
This morning,
Oh,
Target
that's
is
hilarious.
removing a children's Halloween costume after it was widely criticized as racist. The images of the costume are
There you go. Pause that.
evoking blackface. Target now
Oh, I
acknowledges the
gotta go
costume
back.
should have
Oh
never
my
been for
God,
sale,
that's
saying,
fucking
as a company,
hilarious.
we got this evoking.
Oh my God. That now if it wasn't that stance, they might have been able to get away with it.
And if they didn't use a little colored boy.
I mean, I'm just saying they could have played like it was the anti-Spider-Man type of
I'm
thing.
saying I hear you. I agree
But
with what you said. And if it wasn't a colored boy,
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it they
yeah.
got a colored boy in
And
here.
in that stance.
Yeah. Yes. And this is what happens, you big corporations, when you don't want to have colored people working for you. This is what happens.
Might have been a colored person that told him to do it. He dumbass.
Why
It's
would a colored person
ridiculous.
tell them to do it?
Because they are Officer Tatum's and monkeys and Ty and
Tethers.
Corch
Tethers.
and yeah, those people
Uh-huh.
Corch and Ty and Officer Tatum.
Yeah.
Those type of people are rampant in our
Yeah.
society.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only people that I would,
Yeah, but for the
suggest.
most part, if you hire, foundationally born African Americans worth their salt, this type of thing wouldn't be happening to you. You know, you can have these types of discussions. It would jump out, and you would say, "No, you can't run that." You know what I mean? The people would tell you, "Don't run that." Why? Because it's offensive. You're going to offend 13% of the U.S. population at minimum. But they choose not to have us in those rooms and have us in those conversations.
Yeah, and we, are more of the population than that.
I believe that too.
But
Because it's mighty funny. We've been at 13% my whole life.
and it's just a fucking nonsensical.
That number hasn't gone up. That number hasn't gone down.
It's nonsensical because it,
What could they have been thinking? Get in the mind of your pinks or whoever. You think AI did it? I
dude,
think AI has something to do with this.
it's possible, but there's still the mentality of the people. They are running it back like they're gonna run this script, bro. They are going to get what they're asking for. And it's
But the people
unfortunate.
storming the hills and burning everything down?
Yeah, but it's gonna be a lot of local ass whipping. Um, or pinks are gonna be red a little bit, and then they're gonna realize that their stupidism, if that's even a word.
Yeah, I mean, we can make it a word.
Yeah. So it is going. They're going to have a realization through ass whipping.
I mean, of all the stores, too. I mean, of all the stores, bro, it's like they're doubling down.
Man, they are. That's the whole thing, bro. This is all an experiment, bro, to see what we're gonna take. It's an experiment, bro. This is not good, but it is what it is. Yeah.
So the major 2025 boycott was
Hold on.
organized largely by black activists, civil rights leaders, and some Target customers. After Target announced in January 2025 that it was rolling back several of its DEI programs, um, Target ended some diversity goals, stopped participating in certain external DEI reporting, and changed the program intended to increase the number of products from black owned businesses. That's the bing, bing, bing. Um, Pastor Jamal Bryant organized a widely publicized 40-day boycott beginning March 5, asking colots to stop spending money at Target. All right.
March 5. I mean, so this happened a while back.
No, that was as a response to the DEI changes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is
This
a
just happened.
new thing on top of that.
Right. Doubling down.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You after you make your comment, you can finish playing the video.
Target can, respectfully eat a dick.
Well, Korch and Tycoon, he's a businessman. Um, they said the conservatives in 2023 boycotted Target over its Pride LGBTQ merchandise. So Target was boycotted by MAGA in 2023, and then your colots and your liberals boycotted them in 2025.
So why does anybody go to Target?
Target knew where their bread was buttered. At least they thought they did.
They don't care.
Yeah, no, they don't. That's why they flip flop.
They're so arrogant that they, do we? Okay, still
Yeah, they flip flop.
back to the video. Maybe I should move it back a little bit so we have some context. Oh.
Yeah, back to the.
A children's Halloween
Whose mama let him take that picture? Go ahead, let it play.
Racist. The images of the costume are being compared to racist caricatures,
That's an AI.
evoking blackface. Target now acknowledges the costume should have never been for sale, saying, as a company, we got this wrong, and we are deeply sorry. We know this is especially hurtful for our black guests, team members, and partners. Removing the costume is an important first step, and we are looking closely at how this happened.
We're cutting up cards today.
It comes 1 year after the company's controversial move to roll back its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, which sparked protests and boycotts by shoppers.
We need to hold larger corporations accountable.
One Minneapolis area business leader claims this new costume controversy is an indirect result of Target's DEI decision last year, saying, you rolled back diversity, so who's in the room now to say, hey,
that's what I just said.
Yeah,
one commenter on social media saying, the amount of people this costume has to go through to get approved says
you didn't
a lot.
say.
What year is
This
it?
is the media. You're going to be way ahead of them. You way ahead of these motherfuckers because shit.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do? I mean, the DEI, did they stop hiring white women?
See, that I doubt it. That's the whole problem with the DEI thing. The only problem with DEI was that it was mainly white women. I mean, what the fuck?
Yep.
So
75% was white women.
I didn't have a big problem with they running back on the DEI. But if they still running the white women back, then it's a fucking problem.
Yeah, they still hiring the white women, and the white women are making you go out there in the wintertime and get the carts and shit. And the white boy can sit back and vape all day and not do no work. And fire you over anything. They still doing it. You know it's been set up that way. And here in LA, so it's bigger than the white women. They got the Mexican women doing it now, firing for refusing to hire brothers. And if you get the
Oh,
job, they
Mexicans don't hire nobody,
yeah,
bro.
and then they'll fire you too if you there.
Yeah, they gonna get you right up out of
Yeah,
there.
if you slip through, yep, they're gonna be snitching on you, backstabbing you. Yeah, scheduling low hours.
No,
Uh,
they're gonna get you out of there.
yeah, because
That's
they
it.
want to get
That's
their
all.
prima or their primo in there.
They get their people in there. They, I mean,
Hmm.
that's what racism is.
Correct.
When you get your
Correct.
people and you get them together and you fucking run it. And,
Correct.
and the whole thing is they've been holding us back and talking about we 13%. We know that we are. It's more. They ain't 13%. And when they got all of us believing that they are, and they're not. Every motherfucker that come here from any fucking else place, they are considered white and added to the white race as far as it fucking goes as people. So they can make this illusion that they are the running this shit.
What do you just hang out at a bar where every other word is just filth, flarn, filth? You just
Today, yep, because I'm pissed. I can't even fuck with it.
I mean, oh my God. Cussing like that in Chicago, maybe I've been gone too long. Hey, do you though?
We're hour in the show in, so
Yeah. No, I feel you though. I feel your passion. All right. Targeting black culture. Let us know how y'all feel about that. Are you still shopping at Target? Let me know. And was that offensive to you? And I agree with you. The part about the tethers and the cornballs, who they do hire in the room. The 3% of us who might eke through are typically cornballs. I had one dude, he's like, yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do to get the money. He was a professional self, a man, a black dude, graduated UFC business. I was talking about Dak Prescott, who he happened to have known, and you know what I mean. And he was just trying to justify all that shit. Turned out he had what color you think his wife was?
or you already know
Uh huh. Yeah.
she was not one of us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Set you up to lose everything.
I told him, yeah, and she'll
Because
get everything in
you
court.
put your seed through that and your
Yep.
seed come through that, and that changed the whole thing right
Yep.
there. And that's the history of how they took over our land and our
Yes.
country. That's how they did it.
They're still doing it.
Yes.
When we are successful, they attach that to us and take everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad. Who do you blame, us or them? Both.
Yeah. I mean, both are critically uninformed. Well, not both, because they're uninformed. They know that they can get us on this situation and be able to ride the shit out. We're critically informed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we think love is love, and
Mm-hmm.
how someone can identify you and become everything you want them to be to manipulate and control your whole.
They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Uninformed or ignorant?
Man, it depends on what you're talking about. The women, the uninformed, no, the guys is ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorant.
And so the things they
It ain't
espouse,
uninformed. It's ignorant. They don't have no.
yeah, and the things they espouse, like they be, I mean, like, well, that's true. But I'd be like, no, sometimes you got to stand up. I told him, I was like, that's like when OJ said he ain't black, he's OJ. I was like, was that okay? I was like, OJ had a family to feed. He had to get his money too. He's, no, that's different. How's that different?
Who
How's
said that
that
was
different?
different?
Huh?
Who said that was different?
the brother I was having a conversation with. Yeah, yeah. He was a
Some
business. He was
reason,
he was a business tycoon.
what's the brother name on the show? Came to
Oh,
mind.
Hink, Big Hink, Negro
Hank,
Damas.
Hank,
Yeah, Negro Damas.
came to mind when you said that. That was like
Yeah,
some
I think he said something
justification.
similar to that on the show before.
There's a justification.
Yeah,
He,
it's a
uh,
it's that fine line between when keeping it real goes too far and just being a tycoon, just being a coon. That's why I tell her the adventures of Toe
no,
Fingers and Tycoon.
the
We got to do that cartoon. Self.
the line has been crossed for me. It ain't it's the line. It's coon time.
We got we got to do that on that card. Get the comic book going. So the
Like
adventures of Toe Fingers and Tycoon. You know what I mean? It's
no, it could be the adventures of Corch and Tycoon.
yeah, Tycoon. He's a businessman. All right, all right. Get some T-shirts made. Enough of the appetizers, bro. Yeah. Is he frozen? I think this guy's frozen. All right, enough of the appetizers out there. I think Brother Wordsmith is frozen. Okay. So we're going to go to speaker view. All right. Let's get to topic. All right. We had a subtopic here today, which is 3D printing food. Now, this one blew my mind. The views expressed in today's pod are those of the host and the guests and are not necessarily reflective of any affiliates or TATN. Furthermore, this podcast is satirical commentary. All statements are jokes, opinions, and or exaggerations for entertainment, not factual claims or allegations about any person, place, and or event. All right. Um, okay, so Illinois researchers, I can't think of the name of the company. I think it might come out of Champaign, are experimenting with plastic based food. That's right. I'm not making this up. Plastic based food is coming to a corner store near you. Why, you may ask? Why would researchers do such a thing? Well, the researchers are exploring edible bioplastics because they can be engineered at the molecular level to deliver precise nutrition, long shelf life, which is more corporate profits, and you can have it in your your pantry or your cabinet much longer, and programmable textures. So programmable meaning you just plug it into the computer, you tell it what you want, what you need, and it's going to print it out. Their goal isn't to feed people literal petroleum plastic. Is to create food grade polymers that behave like plastic in structure but break down like normal food in the body. This allows shapes, stability, and nutrient delivery systems impossible with traditional ingredients. And I'm going to push back on on this because we got a video we lined up where the scientists are talking about it themselves, and they asked the lady what are the benefits, and she mentioned that we've got junk plastic piling up. Well, you know what? She could say it better than I can. We're gonna run the video for you real quick. All right, let's see here. I think YouTube booted Wordsmith off of the platform. Let's see here. I can't believe this. All right, and listen to this. Blew my mind. Fair use. There's an example. Look how happy she is. She's eating it.
Microbites is a novel food production technology where we
Okay, hold on. We're going to put the captions on. Her accent's a little heavy. Captions. Playing with the ball club. There we go.
Microbites is a novel food production technology where we convert both crop waste and plastic waste into its initial building blocks and feed those initial building blocks to a consortium or a group of engineered yeast. They convert this initial building blocks into protein, and then we use that protein to 3D print our protein cookies. I think converting plastic into food is beneficial over recycling it because of two reasons. One is we are providing a solution for plastic waste accumulation in the environment. Secondly, we are providing an alternative food source to answer the food scarcity issues currently the world is facing. Plastic into food is beneficial over recycling it. I think converting plastic into food is beneficial over recycling it.
You see that junk plastic? That's going to be in your food.
Because of two reasons. One is we are providing a solution for plastic waste accumulation in the environment. Secondly, we are providing an alternative food source to answer the food scarcity issues currently the world is facing.
If you want to produce food in a very extreme environment using the resource you have, carbon resource waste, like Arctic or the desert, and potentially one day in the Mars or the lunar surface, microbites can do that job.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So you heard her. That came straight from her mouth, the scientist. What Illinois lab is producing plastic based 3D food. Oh, it's coming out of Carbondale. I thought it would have been Champaign. So it's the Southern Illinois SIU Salukis. Researchers are developing a project called U-Bites or Microbites, led by Dr. Lahuru Jayakoti. They take PET plastic, PET plastic, the same plastic used in many water bottles. They chemically break it down into smaller carbon containing compounds. Engineered yeast converts those compounds into edible proteins, fats, and other food components. The resulting material can then be 3D printed into foods such as cookies. Okay. Probably make a lot of I could see this being in the vegan space too. The project is supported by NASA, Need Another Space Agency, NASA's Deep Space Food Challenge, because the idea is partly aimed at producing food during long duration space missions while also recycling waste. Importantly, they aren't 3D printing chunks of plastic and calling them food. The plastic is processed first, and microorganisms transform its carbon into biological material that becomes the food ingredient. The researchers have also said the technology is not yet approved for human consumption, thank God, or testing. This research has been published as next generation 3D printed nutritious food derived from waste plastics and biomass. That is crazy as all get out. Crazy. So, um, so as it was just explained, the bioplastic is made from plant-derived proteins, starches, and fibers that are chemically tuned to behave like a printable polymer. Once mixed into the paste, the material can be extruded through a nozzle and solidify into precise, stable structures. This lets the researchers print food that holds shape under heat, pressure, or storage, something normal dough or puree can't do. And I imagine they'll probably start it like you can feed it to your pets, your cats and your dogs, etc. Maybe they'll test it on lab rats and monkeys. What are the potential benefits of this? Before we move to the Amazon, what are the potential benefits of plastic like 3D food? Um, as she mentioned, alleged food shortages. It could be a answer for that, which I don't necessarily believe that there is a food shortage. Uh, the food shortages are manufactured by those same corporations we spoke on earlier, so they can drive the prices to where they want to be. They meet. They have meetings at different places annually, and they decides on things like that, cost of this, cost of that, cost of oil, and then all through the rest of the year, the different news cycles. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo fiction, but it's already been pre-planned out. That being said, um, they can produce more food. They're going to say they can produce it cheaper. It's longer lasting. Um, it's more affordable. This is going to be the initial thing. But once they get everyone to accept it, kind of like they did the self-driving taxis here in LA and everywhere else, it actually costs more than a human driven Uber. Yeah, it's more expensive and you wait longer. So it's the overplay for the underlay. They always tell us it's going to be cheaper and more accessible, but then once you bite into it, once you sign off on it, the price can and it will increase. Uh, benefits could include also programmable nutrition. So I could see a space where at your public schools out there, especially in your lower income communities, your breakfast programs, your lunch programs, they can print up these particular foods with the proper perfect nutrition, the perfect vitamins here and there that you might need, add calcium to it, and just feed you these like chips, these cookie treats that'll have more, allegedly more of a nutritional benefit than whole foods. Emergency ready food with multi-year shelf life. So, you can have it in your storm packet, um, your bomb shelter, and the ability to create customized meals for medical patients or astronauts. Oh man, medical patients? That's weird. That is weird. What are the risks? Risk abound. What are the risks? Um, the need, well, the need for long-term digestion studies, right? Okay, they're saying that they're using biology to break down the plastics into something that's edible, and this is going to be the solution potentially to all the plastic waste we create. Whereas the solution should be let's stop creating the plastic waste, meaning let's stop producing the plastics. Um, if, in my mind, you have a procedure that can turn this waste into something more biologic, then why don't you just do that and then maybe try to make it into some sort of, I don't know, fertilizer but to feed it to humans. seems diabolical. I mean, it seems like an episode from one of those science shows I used to watch as a kid. Can't think of the name of it. All right. And let's see, risk. Ensuring the bioplastic polymers fully break down in the human body without leaving residues. And they could break down, then who's to say they won't reconfigure at some point in the gut? I mean, this can't be good for gut health, can it? I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. But my spidey senses are tingling. This seems to be going against my better judgment. Personally, I wouldn't consume it. But I haven't ridden in one of those self-driving taxis yet either. We have let's get this out there, Karen. Thank you. We have a poll on the channel along these lines. I just dropped it in the chat. I'll pin it. Do me a favor, vote in that poll. The question is, if you could reduce your grocery bill by 75%. So if your bill is $200 a week, you can get out of there for $50 a week. Would you substitute 3D printed foods, these plastics, for the real thing? That's the poll. Your options are no way, Jose, absolutely, or maybe you're unsure, you're rubbing your bum on the fence. The link, you can just click on that link and vote and then pop back in. We need the data. We appreciate you. And it's totally anonymous. So yeah, we've done a risk assessment. I personally think this is batshit crazy, for lack of a better term. But yeah. So targeting Black culture, 3D printing foods. Now we're going to move on to mysteries of the Amazon rainforest. Mysteries of the Amazon rainforest. We're going to take a very quick hiatus. We do have some great videos for your entertainment in the interim. So enjoy. And we'll be back in 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Let's see here.
Moses fleeing the people from Pharaoh.
Right, let my people go.
40 years in a desert.
Manna.
Let's talk about what manna truly is. And
Aganoski's in the Middle East right now saying manna is Peter.
can we put some sensibility to that? Being in the desert, and our Father, the Creator, loves us beyond. And He's going to rain down bread in a desert. Moses summoned the strongest men for them to dig. And that's where the whole term of so it is above, so it is what?
Below.
That means that Moses had the science for them to dig and find water.
Yeah, like the elephants can do.
So what do you find, even in the desert, when you dig down and find water? Do you find bread or do you find plants?
They're really criticizing science because I represent science.
Was some of my research, at USC. I did a survey. The question was, do you think that Jesus Christ was of African descent or European descent? Overwhelmingly, over 90-something% of the folks said African descent. I said, then do you think his ethnicity matters? They said, no, it doesn't matter. And I'm saying, it matters obviously to somebody.
It does. Absolutely.
And it matters to white supremacy. But whenever there's a book called The Color of Christ, the saga of race, I think in America, they track when, most people say, well, this is something out of Europe and, who was that? Michelangelo painted,
Yeah.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with why Jesus is white. Jesus is white because of America. Jesus is white because of white supremacy in the Klan. That's why Jesus is white. That's where that comes from. It didn't stick in Europe because they knew better.
Hey, Cleveland, you better hide the markers from your kids. Somebody colored in your Jesus.
Somebody colored in your ass with too much ass, fat ass.
The charges I'm going to announce, please know this. The charges themselves are not evidence. Everyone that I'm going to describe today is presumed guilty until and unless they are proven guilt, their guilt is proven by the government beyond a reasonable doubt.
My testicles, they like eased down and they put their hands right between my butt. Just pulled my drawers down and dug in my rectum.
The ringleader and now disgraced.
Things like that, do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes, with my experience, not only just in classification, but as former, he's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration, we have that. So we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are.
Mentioning that even the local news is ultimately both written for and controlled by a unified source, regardless of the network. Just watch this clip and you'll see how bad it really is.
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. Thank God we recovered his DNA and be able to plant it on the scene. Thank God we recovered his DNA and be able to plant it on the scene and And I understand they're opening up different cold cases now, see if they can identify possibly his DNA linked to other crimes.
You're asking me to warn you about an enforcement action being taken by another agency before it happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Why not?
That would be obstruction of justice. You may want to talk to the city attorney.
Air quotes expert.
We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format. Very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the Black community, for real.
Yeah.
Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro.
They're so ignorant.
Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy
and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro. All right, y'all, we back in the building. And right now we've been unpacking. We unpack targeting our community, and we unpack these plastic-based 3D printed food. So now we'll get on to the main topic. The Amazon pain forest, as some people call it. Very, very difficult. I mean, I guess the poll should have been, would you rather be stranded in Death Valley for 3 days, or would you rather be stranded in the Amazon for 3 days? You probably got a better chance in the Amazon, but yeah, you're going to go through a lot either way. So, all right, Karen. So how large is the Amazon rainforest? You know, we're going to get into the dimensions of it first, just to give the layman an idea of what we're talking, the scope of everything that we're talking about. Before we do that, um, one second here. I do got a short video to share. Fair use. This one's 10 dangerous animals in Amazon, and it's top things channel on YouTube.
10 dangerous animals in the Amazon rainforest. 1. Harpy eagle. 2. Kangaroo. 3. Bull shark. 4. Bushmaster. 5. Brazilian wandering spider. 6. Bullet ant.
They said that bullet ant will, you don't want to have no parts of a bullet ant attack. One bite can knock you unconscious. So imagine a whole swarm of them, whole colony of them.
7. Poison dart frog. 8. Piranha. 9. Green anaconda. 10. Electric eel.
This was one of the worst things.
All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's move on. Okay, the rainforest. The Amazon rainforest spans about 6.7 million square kilometers, making it the largest rainforest on Earth. It contains over 10% of all known species, and its river system carries 20% of the fresh water that reaches the oceans. To put that in perspective, if you took a map of the United States and covered the Amazon rainforest over it, it would cover about 80% of the contiguous United States. This is how large the rainforest is. So when people tell you they've gone to the rainforest, they've only flirted with the edge of it, right? I mean, let's just say if the rainforest started on the eastern seaboard, I mean, I think they said the most people have traveled into it. I'm not talking about the indigenous people who live in there, but the outsiders. You know, you might have gotten through, say, New York, right? And even then, you know, you get lost. But you don't get any further. Like, you know, just think. You have to get all the way to, like, state of Washington to get through the whole thing. And you'd have to walk from, say, the East Coast all the way to the middle of America to be in the middle of the Amazon, which is amazing. So I just wanted to give you those dimensions to toy around with. Why is the Amazon called the lungs of the planet? Well, that's pretty simple. The Amazon produces anywhere between 6% and 20% of the world's oxygen. But it's the real global impact comes from the carbon storage. So we know the trees, they inhale the carbon. So it's like an air filter for us. So the rainforest is filtering out our air. So those trees, they hold over 100 billion tons of carbon, which helps stabilize our climate systems, and it slows atmospheric CO2 buildup. So then one would have to ask oneself, Why would we be clear cutting the Amazon? You know, why are we cutting it down? For money? For wood products? I have to believe something is terraforming our planet. They're terraforming Mother Earth. All right. That's how they get rid of the Amazon tribes. God bless you, kitty cat. Okay. All right. This one's from Rogcast on YouTube. It's titled, That's How They Get Rid of the Amazon Tribes. Fair use.
This was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. This is a place where, like, you feel like you went in a time machine. There's people with modern machines, but then off in the corner, there were these little people, and they were still holding onto their bows and arrows. And you look at them, and as soon as you look at them, they hide. Those are the Nawa. And it turns out that the Nawa were shooting at
Look at that. Those people were black.
the Nawa.
His body doesn't look much like ours. Wow. They're built the same. All those mosquitoes and stuff out there, and they don't cover up.
And it turns out that the Nawa were shooting at the oil company guys. So how'd they solve that problem? They funded the missionaries, sent the missionaries out there, convinced them to come back to the nearest town. Through 2 translators, we asked this guy, what are you doing here? And the guy was like, I'm trying to go back to my house. And he said, these missionaries said if I came here, that then they'd help me in the food and, because then when they got to the town, they just showed up to capitalist society, which even though it's super remote,
put them to work.
They're like, you want food? You got to buy it. And these people have a bow and arrow, but there's no more animals around because they've killed everything.
God.
And they go, but I want to go home. And the missionaries go, well, do you got gasoline? Now they're stuck.
Still doing it, Joe. So the missionaries, allegedly, the religious orders, as we know on this channel, as we've discussed over and over ad nauseum in the past, the missionaries are the ones who bring their poisons and their sugars and salts and their capitalism and take control of you. Their weapons, their diseases, and their Bible to control you and remove you from your nature so they can chop down all the trees. When you look at the history of it, the only people who benefit from that arrangement are Westerners. The indigenous people never benefit in the long run. You'll have a few who benefit, maybe the top 3%. Financially, they benefit, but the people are destroyed. Okay, so how many indigenous groups live in the Amazon? This number is impossible to get accurate because me personally, I feel like for every indigenous group we've discovered, there's got to be at minimum 5 undiscovered ones. It's so easy to lay low in Amazon. More than 400 indigenous groups. So using my math, I'd say 2,000. But more than 400 indigenous tribes live throughout the Amazon, including roughly 100 uncontacted tribes. So the missionaries haven't gotten there yet. These communities preserve ancient ecological knowledge. So the same knowledge our people knew about how to, tend to the soil, how to plant certain things, how to get medicines out of certain plants. They know. So, medicinal practices and languages that form one of the richest cultural reservoirs on Earth. Okay. Just something to consider. Okay, let's see here. Okay. I can't believe this. What happened? Okay. Why is the Amazon one of the world's most biodiverse regions? The Amazon's climate, river systems, and vast canopy layers create countless microhabitats that support over 3,000 species of fish, 1,300 bird species, and 400 billion individual trees, making it the most biodiverse region on Earth. There's still, let's see what's going on there. There's still undiscovered animals in the Amazon that we haven't cataloged yet because we just simply have never seen them. Not to mention, the insect species, the plants, animals, and the mushrooms. What do you call them? Mushrooms. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Big plants, animals. Why can't I take it up? Fungi. Yes. That was going to drive me crazy. So, yeah, there's got to be so many fungi in the because fungi usually like interact with the root system in trees. So you can imagine all of the types of fungi, and many of those things could be hallucinogenic, which, could have led to our consciousness right there in the Amazon. Brother Wordsmith, he's been adamant that his belief is that life started in the Americas as opposed to the Africas. Makes sense if you postulate the Amazon. And I'm going to get into what the ancients in Amazon, what they say about the origin of man. All right, let's see here. All right. This one is The Amazon is a Colossal Mystery. This is Graham Hancock on Joe Rogan.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Some of the more fascinating pieces of evidence in South America have come out recently about these channels and pathways.
Hold on. Don't want to get dinged here.
That they've found in the Amazon that could not have been created any other way but by humans creating irrigation, humans creating, like, it appears like grids, like a city grid.
Definitely. The Amazon is a colossal mystery, and it's one of the subjects that I explore in depth in America before. First of all, to give some basic figures, the Amazon basin is huge. The Amazon basin is 7 million square kilometers in area. And within it, 5.5 million square kilometers remains almost entirely unstudied by archaeologists. And that's the 5.5 million square kilometers that is still covered by dense rainforest. And to put that into perspective, 5.5 million square kilometers is the size of the entire Indian subcontinent. So it's like saying, we've done world archaeology, but we've just ignored India, We've done world archaeology, but we've just ignored the Amazon. It's the same argument. 5.5 million square kilometers. The view was, again, there was a dogma. There was a preconception. Human beings couldn't have flourished in the Amazon. It's not a resource-rich area. The soils are poor. It's a difficult area, challenging to get to, very far from the Bering Straits. So the view was that humans hadn't entered the Amazon until about 1,000 years ago. And then gradually, little by little, that view has begun to change. And it's begun to change because of the tragic clearances of the Amazon, because the Amazon rainforest is literally being cut down and turned into soybean farms and cattle ranches. And in that cutting down process has emerged things that shouldn't be there at all. For example, evidence that large cities flourished in the Amazon, enormous cities, which were larger than.
How's that possible?
There was a Spanish explorer who went down the Amazon River system in 1541 to 1542. He was the first European to cross the entire length of South America from west to east along the Amazon. He reported seeing incredible cities, advanced arts and crafts, millions of people, a thriving culture. And 100 years later, when other Europeans got into the Amazon, they couldn't find these cities. So they said, oh, Francisco Orellana, that was his name, made it all up. It was just a fantasy. And then in the last decade, as the clearances of the Amazon have proceeded, we've begun to see the traces of those cities. What happened was that the Spaniards brought smallpox into the Amazon. Smallpox devastated the local population because there was no immunity to it. There was a massive die-off. The cities were deserted. Within 50 years, they were completely overgrown by the jungle, and that's why they were not seen by the explorers who came in 100 years later. But now the jungle's being cleared, those cities are emerging, and we can say that a city like London, which had a population of roughly 50,000 in the...
Let's see if we can find that. Cities in the Amazon. There should be something on here, right? Lost Amazon cities. Discovered. Yeah, you wouldn't know they were there. This was discovered in 1913. Okay. Okay. You guys can see this. Hold on. My bad.
The Ecuadorian Amazon was made possible thanks to advanced LiDAR technology, which revealed a complex network of settlements connected by extensive roads.
Well, that's the first one I was looking at. Let's see. Well, better evidence of this. I don't see much evidence of what he's talking about. Oh no. Okay, looks like they had homes. They had to be doing some kind of farming. Wow. Huh. Because there's a theory that this is where it started. So you got Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay. Okay. When I meet people from those places, they're not super dark. They're brown, but they're not Asiatic. Okay. Let's see.
16th century, there were cities of that size all over the Amazon.
Wow.
Huge numbers of them. And a possible total population of the Amazon that exceeded 20 million people.
What?
Yes, 20 million. This is the latest evidence from the Amazon. And then you ask yourself, how did they do that? How did they feed 20 million people in the Amazon? Because it's a fact, rainforest soils are poor. It's one of the reasons these soybean farms are a really stupid idea, because once you clear the rainforest, the land is largely unfertile and you can't grow stuff on it for very long. So how did they feed all these people? The answer was they invented a soil. And that soil has a name. It's called terra preta. Archaeologists refer to it as Amazonian dark earths or Amazonian black earth. It's a man-made soil. It's thousands of years old. It's full of microbes that are not found in adjoining soil. It's based around biochar. And you can take a handful of 8,000-year-old terra preta and you can add it to barren soil, and that soil will instantly become fertile. It's highly sought after in the Amazon, and it explains how they fed these people.
So was that done by burns? Did they use controlled burns?
They did. One way that it was achieved was to do wet burning of middens. They would be burned and smolder. They wouldn't burn fiercely, which just produces charcoal. They would burn and smolder, and that what is called biochar would result, and that's part of the fertility of the soil. But the mystery is the microbial content of this soil, which is the content of these soils. So there first of all is an issue of how two things: how
advanced composting,
is some sort of advanced composting. But again, what has not been explained is the microbial content of these soils. So there first of all,
dark earth.
All is an issue of how species is a ditch which has been dug deep, and then an embankment has been pushed up outside the ditch. When people first saw these structures, they wondered if they'd been built for defense. But then it became obvious they hadn't been built for defense, because if you want to create a moat, you put it outside your embankment, not inside your embankment. So a henge is an earthwork.
Yeah, they weren't killing each other.
Which consists of a deep moat with a large embankment outside it. And it can be circular, it can be square, and in the UK and other parts of Europe, it often contains stone circles, megalithic stone circles as well. But the henge itself is entirely an earthwork. What we find in the Amazon are thousands of henges that are now beginning to emerge from the cleared area of the jungle, and others that have been identified for the first time with LiDAR. LiDAR technology is being employed in the Amazon. It's non-destructive. You can see what's under the trees.
What is LiDAR?
Light imaging and detective. The evidence already is extremely tempting and extremely tantalizing. They may ultimately prove to be. The investigation needs to be done. But what's fascinating about them is this very powerful geometry and astronomy. So a number of the sites are perfectly aligned to true north, true south, true east, and true west. I'm not talking about magnetic north. I'm talking about true astronomical north. To do that, there's only one way to do it, and that's with astronomy. So that tells us that astronomers were at work in the Amazon. The geometry is very complex and very precise. That tells us that people with geometrical skills were at work in the Amazon. And thirdly, the scale of the sites of hundreds of meters.
So the Greeks didn't create geometry, huh? That's on Joe Rogan, y'all. You can check that out at your leisure. The Amazon is a colossal mystery, and that was Graham Hancock talking. He's an archaeologist, goes all over the world, and big science. They don't like him much. Big science don't take a shining to Graham Hancock. Okay, let's see. All right. So I was saying we were going to get into the Amazonian myth. What Amazonian myth describes the origin of man? So many Amazonian groups teach that humans emerge from sacred forest beings rather than from earth and clay. In Tucano lore, humanity originates from the anaconda canoe, a cosmic serpent that traveled the rivers and deposited the first ancestors at different points along the Amazon. Each stop became a tribe, and each tribe carries a fragment of the serpent's consciousness. So, there was a serpent in the Garden of Eden. And if you imagine, maybe the Garden of Eden could have been, I don't know, in the Amazon, a part of the Amazon. Sacred forest beings. That's interesting. And then now you've got this serpent, this anaconda canoe, cosmic serpent. So Graham Hancock was saying that they were doing astrology. And so is this another story about sky people? And the serpent's consciousness. Like I said, it has to be a lot of hallucinogens in there, not just ayahuasca. Speaking of which, there was a 14-year-old girl, a 1-year-old baby, and then like a 5-year-old boy and a 6-year-old boy. They were lost in the Amazon for 30 days. And got to a point, it's, as you can imagine, it's massive. So they had the father do an ayahuasca, or maybe it was one of the searchers, do an ayahuasca ceremony in order to locate them. It didn't work. So then that was the father. It didn't work. So then they had someone else, one of the searchers, do the ayahuasca ceremony. And then so they go out and search that day, the next day, and they come across a turtle. Can't remember what kind of turtle it was, but it was a turtle. And this turtle had the tribes. It's like a mystic turtle, but it's a real turtle. And so they told the turtle, you reveal where these children are, or, we're going to cut your liver out and eat it. That's what they told that turtle. And they said within like 30 minutes, they heard the baby crying. First, a dog came. One of the search dogs was trying to get their attention to take them over there. But then they said they heard the baby crying and they found the children. So I don't know. Coincidence? Maybe. Wacky, savage ancestral myths? Maybe. How do Amazonian tribes explain the spirit world of the jungle? In many traditions, the rainforest is a 3-layered cosmos. The canopy is the realm of sky spirits. So if you're lost in Amazon, a lot of your technology won't work due to the canopy. There's a canopy covering it, and it blocks out any signal you might be receiving from the satellites, GPS, all of that stuff just won't work. You can't get like people say, fly a drone over there and you can look down. You can't. It's like hidden. It's got a roof on the top of it. Like the whole thing is like a closed system. So you got the canopy, all right? So the rainforest is a 3-layered cosmos. The canopy is the realm of sky spirits. This is what they say, the tribes. The forest floor is the human world. And the deep roots belong to ancestral beings who govern life, death, and transformation. Shamans say the jungle is alive with watchers, and every plant or animal has a guardian spirit that must be approached with respect or ritual permission. In many traditions, the rainforest is a 3-layered cosmos. The canopy is the realm of sky spirits. The forest floor is the human world, and the deep roots belong to ancestral beings who govern life, death, and transformation. Shamans say the jungle is alive with watchers, and every plant or animal has a guardian spirit that must be approached with respect or ritual permission. So remember that as you're going through your day in your community. All right. We got another snippet to play.
To touch the unknown.
What's hidden behind 2,124,000 square miles of unexplored Amazon forest? This is the Riddle Channel with 3Ds. Fair use.
You don't need to descend to the bottom of the Mariana Trench or climb inside the Pharaoh's tomb. Believe me, all of this pales in comparison to the Amazon rainforest. This huge area is in full view of the whole world, but parts of it still remain unexplored. I tried to find out what was hidden under the dense foliage. I was quite surprised. Now, let's take it all in, one step at a time. Let's start with the river. A little geography so you know what you're dealing with. The Amazon River is the largest river in the world. Most of its basin is covered by rainforest, approximately 5,500,000 square kilometers. That's 2,124,000 square miles. That's more than the area of Spain, France, and Germany combined. It would simply be impossible to fully explore such a huge area. You can't see much from above because the forest is too dense. Wading through it on the ground is excruciatingly difficult. And it's there, deep in the rainforest, where many secrets are hidden. It's not so easy to uncover them, and sometimes it's almost impossible. Forget about the Egyptian pyramids. Here, the secrets have living witnesses. These are tribes cut off from all modern civilization. Tribes that we know almost nothing about. It's not so easy to believe. At first, I wasn't sure either. The territory of the Vale du Javari is considered the least studied. Although its area is larger than the size of Austria, it's home to 3,000 indigenous peoples of Brazil. Most of them are connected to the outside world, but there are also uncontacted peoples. They have no connection with modern civilization. They evolve on their own. How? No one has enough information about them. Now there are very few such groups left, and many of them live in the rainforests of the Amazon. Up to 2,000 people are permanently located on the territory of the Vale du Javari. They belong to at least 14 such tribes. People from the outside world almost never come to their settlements, but it's not out of fear of the locals, even if they are hostile. The tribes are officially protected by the Brazilian authorities, so the outside world doesn't harm these hermits. It turns out that exposure to modern humanity has enough disadvantages, and not just because we can teach them bad lessons. Diseases. People who have lived in isolation for centuries are not immune to the diseases we know. Even common measles or rubella could lead to an epidemic. It turns out that interaction with the outside world is a direct threat to their lives. But scientists still dream of gaining access to uncontacted peoples and studying their culture. What if these people know what's hidden in the depths of the rainforest? Don't think I'm exaggerating. There are really too many mysteries of the Amazon to count. They say there are even traces of an ancient civilization here, a civilization that scientists never learned about. These aren't myths, only real facts, and they send chills up your spine. In 2018, archaeologists managed to discover a unique site in the southwestern part of the Amazon. 81 ancient settlements, including canals, ditches, and other structures, an entire city, or perhaps even a small state. For hundreds of years, it was all hidden in the depths of the Amazon, and no one, including the local residents, even suspected such a treasure. Scientists believe that the settlement existed between 1250 and 1500 AD. They're almost certain that they've stumbled upon the remains of an ancient civilization. There could have been about 1 million people living here, and thus far, we still don't know anything about it. I'm not talking about a few individual structures standing in the forest. Archaeologists have found several hundred structures that look like man-made objects. and they're all connected. Most likely, the inhabitants of this place were actively engaged in agriculture and knew a lot about beautiful ceramics. But this is just a grain of information. Their purpose is unknown to scientists. Perhaps the geoglyphs were a meeting place. 150 geoglyphs have been found in the northern parts of Brazil and Bolivia. These are ditches or embankments in the form of huge geometric shapes, so they can cut it down, all for the sake of agriculture. But here I'm talking about
All right.
regions.
You get the gist of that. All right. It's amazing. Go down that rabbit hole. What is the role of the Yakuruna in Amazonian lore? The Yakuruna are powerful water spirits said to live in inverted underwater cities where the roofs face downward and the rivers flow like sky. They are known as shapeshifters, sometimes appearing as humans, dolphins, or shadowy figures. In lore, they can abduct people to teach healing, punish disrespect, or reveal hidden knowledge of the river's depths. I think I met one of them when I was a lad in Lake Michigan. Yep. Saved my life. Saved my life. All right. So yeah, we just got a 1 minute video we wanted to run showing you uncontacted tribesmen. Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to know they're there. His awareness out there has got to be just crazy. So deforestation is running them out of their pivot.
Last uncontacted tribe.
Povos meio que desconhecidos, né? Tanto que eles existem.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This has to be where they got the idea from the original Avatar.
The tribe makes bright red body paint from the crushed seeds. Morellis has been monitoring this tribe for 20 years, but he fears their lives are about to change for the worse. Illegal logging across the border in Peru is forcing uncontacted tribes there to flee.
Que de repente começou a aparecer uns isolados lá.
Wow. old. And I wonder what kind of pathogens they have that we mess around with them and then we get what they have and then bring it back to us and it could destroy us. Guess everything cuts two ways. So the Amazon is amazing. I just suggest you go down that rabbit hole. I've been down it for quite some time. Maybe I'll get it on the bucket list. It'll be a great place to visit. Don't want to get lost there because I've heard and seen horror stories. All right. So what could be concealed in the Amazon? It seems like a great big safe, like a maze. There's something there. If I were going to hide something, deep in Amazon would be a place to put it. So there could be some ancient technology, some ancient knowledge, or an ancient people. And could that be the reason why we're clear cutting that forest, even though we know clear cutting it could be lead to our demise? Can't just be about money. All right, we're going to get to the poll. Cannot just be about money. If you could reduce your grocery bill by 75%, would you substitute 3D printed plastic foods for the real thing? Unsure. 0% said unsure. 0% said they would. So right now the data is showing that 100% are not open to such technology. So those results don't surprise me. I'm not open to it. All money ain't good money. All food ain't good food. All right. The views expressed in today's pod are those of the host and the guests, and are not necessarily reflective of TATN or any affiliates. Furthermore, this podcast is satirical commentary. All statements are jokes, opinions, or exaggerations for entertainment, not factual claims or allegations about any person or event. In the end, what we're really talking about is awareness, the kind that keeps copper communities sharp when corporations misread the room, and the kind that refuses to let cultural extraction go unchecked. Target's latest misstep ain't an isolated moment. It's part of a long-term pattern of companies wanting the rhythm without respecting the people who create it. And calling that out ain't about outrage. It's about ownership. It's about protecting the stories and symbols that define us all. At the same time, we're stepping into a future where even food is being redesigned, re-engineered, and reimagined. The rise of 3D printed meals, specifically the plastic-like biopolymer foods being tested in Southern Illinois labs, which is where a lot of farming is done in that area, forces us to ask who gets innovation, who gets experimentation, and who gets extermination. Communities that already navigate food deserts shouldn't be the first to receive synthetic oddball solutions. Progress means nothing if it forgets the humanity it's supposed to serve. And maybe that's why the Amazon still matters in today's conversation. Its myths, its lores, its spirits, its ancestral stories remind us that knowledge once came from listening to the land, to the rivers, to the stories passed down in the dark. As we move forward, the challenge is to balance the engineered future with the ancient one, to honor the roots while navigating the algorithms or the canopy. Because whether we're talking about culture, food, or the rainforest, the message is the same. Stay curious, stay informed, stay aware, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay true to self. Also, love yourself and others around you deeply. Remember, ask not what our culture can do for you, but what you can do for our culture. Silence is violence, and continue to question everything. The Self Love Show ain't Kansas, Toto. Peer down those rabbit holes and do your own research, but use caution and discernment, because sometimes when you stare into the abyss, the abyss stares right back at you. Peace, self-love, honor, and respect. All right, we'll let you know what we got in store for next week, September 2nd. Big V to all the Virgos. We in that time of the year. Check us out on TATN, Mouthpiece Included, on Sunday. Getting very close. We're about 17 games away from the Bears kicking off, 17 days away from the Bears kicking off. Spolly Tricks, Mouthpiece Included. Anybody can pull up. It's an open panel, and it is a live stream. If you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Got a lot to unpack on that show. And then this brings me to my personal favorite part of the whole shebang. And that's going to be Wordsmith's final words out there. It's going to be substituted today, performed by Cartman. Big ups to Cartman.
What has happened to this place? I don't recognize it anymore. It used to be so fun and special. What is life worth living for? The dream is dead, our land is gone. There's a hole in my heart and I can't go on. There are too many minorities at my water park. This was our land, our dream, and they've taken it all away. They just keep coming and coming. Minorities. I tried to go and tell the police, but even the authorities are minorities at my water park. There's no place for me to sit anymore, and the lines just keep getting crazier. There are Mexicans all around me. The lazy river has never been lazier. It's a 40-minute wait to go down one slide, and the instructions are in Spanish on the zip line ride.
Cale sus brazos y piernas dentro del paseo.
Just do it in English. There are too many minorities. Too many at my water park. Somebody do something. Where did they all come from? Why can't they leave this land alone? And it's such a tragedy. Feel bad like dying. We look the other way too long. We've got to change our priorities and get all these minorities out of my water park. Minorities, Mexicans and Asians, black people. I think I even saw Native American. Gross. God, I'm asking, please get all of these minorities out of my water park. My water park.
Can't read my no. He can't read my.
Many men wish death upon.
Honestly, I don't know.
Do you think you are the one?
Honestly, I don't know.
You know what that means? It's Latin. Means know thyself.
The
time is now, my people. We must stand together.
I will eat the right foods that I
go myself.
The wrong way
stole my health.
I'm glad to be me now and nobody else.
Man, know thyself.
I will eat the right foods that I
Grow myself.
Cause the wrong way
Stole my health.
I'm glad to be me now and nobody else. Yo,
Bullets.
getting the code and all the scriptures, potions and elixirs.
Come on, Karen. Bullets are boomerangs.
Stand your ground.
Murder is suicide.
Yeah, well, an eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
See something, say something.
You want to be a slave? Vibrate greed. Ego. Fear. That's how they make you a slave. You end up in prison.
Okay. I know for sure, charity plus humility times love is freedom.
That's how you get out. Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
We've got two who can see.
Fear is cap. It's an illusion.
Yeah. Vibrate love.
See if you can hear it. You never die when you breathe in the Holy Spirit. Swine ain't divine, the people they won't go near it. Salad bar, spit it, not your average hard here to bring you back to God. Said it just like Master Far sent you. The end ain't always happy.
And forgiveness is love's supreme vibration.
So, do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end a beef.
Healthy people, heal thy people. That's a commandment.
Yeah, it's hurt people, for sure, gonna try to hurt people.
Free Larry Hoover, man, like Big Meech.
Free Jeff Ford.
Free all the guys, man.
Prison to slavery.
Check that 13th Amendment if you don't believe it. And be Yah. Walk on water.